Clobberin time!
Atomic batteries to power. Turbines to speed.
Roger. Ready to move out.
Clobberonimo!
Yeah, welcome and greetings, clobberers, clobberonimos, clobberuskis, clobberoids, clobberoscles, and clobberostomies, and whatever else we have out there. Whatever kind of clobber you may be. It is great to have you here, my dear friends. Welcome. So, wild card Wednesday night on Clobberin Times. Issue number, well, 495 on YouTube. 1,195 overall for the last 13 and a half years. And hey, hopefully many more to go. I hope. We'll see. Let's see here. Before we do some shout outs, a little quick show note. Tomorrow night, of course, needless to say, I will be here with my wonderful crew, the great Commander R.M. Briggs and great Mark D. with a C for the Clubhouse at same Clobby time, same Clobby channel, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's see here. I'll be in some other places. Let's see, Friday night around, I think that's 7 Eastern, so 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be over at our good buddy Dad Man Walking's brand new channel. This is a link in my description below. If you have not subscribed, please do. Talking a little bit of NFL football over there with him. And then a few hours later on my great buddy Nick Weiser's channel, also in my description below, at his comic shop, hanging with his comic shop gang on Friday night, the comic shop gang of Friday night on his channel. Talking some, what else? Comics. We'll be reviewing the first issue of the Infinity Gauntlet, the classic from the early 90s. Or was it late 80s? Either way. So we'll be doing that. And then, folks, my dear friends, Saturday Night Star Trek is back to start off the new year with Saturday Night Star Trek number 100. This will be our 100th episode of Saturday Night Star Trek, a landmark. So we're continuing where we left off with 4 more episodes of Star Trek Deep Space Nine from season 4. So looking forward to that. In the meantime, let's say hello to some friends. I don't know. I can't see the chat yet. I will look at it, but first we'll say our standard hellos to our great wrenches crew, the great Eric K., the bronze wrencher, my buddy, the great Chris Persia, Vindicator Wrench of the North, D. Bud Martin, the great wrench of iron, LT, Lord Thoth, Avon lives, long live the Legion, and hail to, shout out to Lady Thoth, the wrencher without fear. J-Man, my great friend and review partner of the extraordinary Bob Haney universe. More on that later. The great artist of not only Science Fiction Tales by R.M. Briggs, but the Clobberin Times great our great artist, official artist, you should say, and master of the Clobboni, Phantom Outsider, the Phantom Wrencher, Super Wrencher himself, Kal-El, and of course, Maddie's daddy, the great Thor Wrench of Vegas. So let's see who is here with us so we can say hello. Like I said, I don't know who is and isn't. I just do those shout outs anyway. And of course, I do see that J-Man is there. Hey, buddy. Good to see you. Brian Hepburn. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. Chris Persia. Hey, yo, buddy. Glad you're here. Gwagnar. Good to see you. Classic Comics. A fellow panelist at the great Loki's Roundtable. Always a big shout out to the great Stone Loki also, by the way, in the great 24/7. And I appreciate it. Had a good time with you guys tonight. Let's see here. If you have not already, and I need to get a link. I forgot. I'll get a link put in there. When I got to remember about a classic for our good buddy Classic Comics channel. It's fairly new. He has a channel and stuff. I've been on there with him once, and he's a new friend of the show, good friend of the show. And if you have not, please, if we can get that link, it'd be great. Subscribe to Classic Comics channel, and he's got a show coming up tomorrow night, which I hope I can remember to make it there. I got to go hit the notify button or whatever. With the great maker of fantasy covers for the old Brave and Bold and Super Team Family blog, Ross Pearsall. Ross Pearsall is an excellent bloke. I've had him on my old show back way years and years ago when I was on Blog Talk Radio. And by the way, you don't have to mention me, Classic. You probably wouldn't remember me anyway, but still, I'll stop in and say hi. It's been so long, I'm sure. But again, Ross is a good dude, and he has a great blog and a great channel. So I look forward to seeing that show tomorrow night if I have a moment in time. I'm not sure when you're doing it. Let us know. But please go subscribe to Classic Comics channel, and you'll check out his stream tomorrow night. Alejandro Flores Ibarra, hey there. Good to see you, my friend. Says tomorrow's my 27th. Oh, well, happy birthday tomorrow. Big shout out today. Today is my father's birthday. And he doesn't listen, but I love my dad, and I love your dad, and happy birthday to you. It's also the birthday of one of my most beloved friends, Trekkie Kim, out there, who used to do shows with on BTR and other things. I don't think she's listening either, but a big happy birthday out to her as well. I love Trekkie Kim. So those birthdays are both today. My dad today. My dad, well, I guess he'll never know, but he'll make 85 today. And I love my dad. I got a great dad. I'm very fortunate about that. Michael Carney. Greetings. Also, big shout out to everyone who happens to be lurking or who is listening on a rewatch or a download. I don't say it enough, but I really, really do appreciate you. Thank you so much for listening and watching and listening. Listening's fine. You can watch or listen. Listening is always the best. Let's see. Zacharot, what's up? Scogly Jotun, what's up, Scogly? Oh, D-Bud's got a bad storm in there. Oh, dude, well, just hey, man. Sorry about that, buddy. Hang in there. Hope everything's okay, brother. Be safe. Take care, man. Mighty Orbots, hey there. Welcome. Let's see who else we got. Alejandro Flores Arberis says, Clobberin Times, controversial Star Trek opinion. I like the first two Jar Jar movies, but everything after can be sucked into a black hole for me. All I care. Well, I hate those movies, and That's cool. Don't You can have any opinion you want around here, but my opinion is, of course, not only do I hate those movies, all the filth that came after them is for people liking and supporting those first two. That garbage reported is garbage repeated. So those two movies gave us what we have now. But anyway, look, nevertheless, here we're all friends here, Alejandro, and all opinions are welcome. I mean, they may not be agreed with, and they may, but they're always welcome to be expressed here, and we appreciate you doing that. Matthew Pounder, my friend, Hungry Boy is there. There he goes. Hey, buddy. Let's see. I think I'm caught up now. I'm caught up, and everybody shouted out. Oh, wow. Michael Carney, it's past 3:14 there. Yeah, sorry about that, man. Oh, but I'm very honored to have you here, of course. It's great to see you, my friend. I got nothing, like I said, not a whole lot going on today, and it's just open comics foolishness. Open geek. I mean, it's open anything, not just comics, science fiction, whatever. So, just open talk foolishness from Clobby. And Alejandro says, the one Trek series I've never seen an episode of yet is Enterprise. Well, thank you, Michael. I appreciate those kind words, my friend. It'd be more than you could know. Alejandro, I'll since you were bold enough to put forth an unpopular Trek opinion, I'll give you one of my unpopular Trek opinions. Way before the fake Jar Jar Abrams filth came out in 2009. The most controversial opinion you could have was if you liked Enterprise or not, Star Trek Enterprise. And I'm one of those weirdos that liked it from the beginning, and I didn't think I would. Oh, no, we're not going to talk about Pregnant Joker. Hungry Boy, I'm not talking about that crap. I talked about it enough with Loki and that gang. That's just a bunch of, it's a non-story to me. So, no, I have no interest in talking about that. You all know about it anyway, so it's nothing to me. So, back then, though, Alejandro, basically, if you got something was wrong with you, if you liked Enterprise. Hey, Michael Carney became a new member. Thank you so much. I'm honored to have you here. Thank you so much, sir. But I remember when Enterprise first came on, and Alejandro, and I unabashedly love Enterprise. Like all the shows, and it's not perfect; it has its faults. I was walking out the door when that thing arrived. I had no interest. I don't like Quantum Leap. I never was a Quantum Leap fan. So when I first saw it was going to be like the Quantum Leap guy, nah. 30 years before Kirk, nah. So, but I set my recorder to sound, because I've watched the pilots before. I'm always, and maybe in a sense still am, an original series guy. My original series is the one that's most important to me. I later let TNG and especially DS9 grow on me. I'm not the biggest Voyager guy, but I love Enterprise, but most people don't. So here's this question by J-Man. He says, here's a question. Enterprise season 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, what do you like better? I like season 1 or 2. Well, J-Man, I actually like season 1 and 2 the best. The popular opinion is 4 is the best. Some people like 3. Some people don't like 3. I like the series as a whole. 4 has some really good stories, but it got really kind of bogged down in the multiple story rut, which I don't really like much. 1 and 2 had stories that felt unlike any Trek you'd ever seen, but in a good way, in my opinion, because this isn't the 21st anniversary of that show, by the way. Seasons 1 or 2 even coming out the box. I'm not saying I was the biggest fan of the whole temporal Cold War subplot, but there were good things about it. But the individual episodes where they were just going out into space, they were the first ship out there. They didn't know what they were doing. They were blind, really, because they had no, Kirk had a 100-something year playbook to read from to be trained in Starfleet. So did Picard. Had 200 years to train as a worth of Starfleet history to train. But Archer had nothing. Archer had to go out there and, just learn this all by himself. It was just find out that they were overmatched. They were in over their heads. They didn't know what they were doing, but sometimes that's the only way you can learn anything is to just go out there. And that's what they were doing on Enterprise. There were some things that were contradictory or even, paradoxical, anachronistic to the original. Sure, but if you just let that go, this show is more like the original series because this crew is more like that, in my opinion. I love Archer and the crew. I love them all. I was surprised how much I liked Scott Bakula on that show because I wasn't a Quantum Leap guy. Yeah, you got to run before you can walk. There you go, Michael. And I just thought I like the format of 1 and 2 better. 3, the Xindi story arc. It started out pretty well. I think the best episodes in that Xindi season were standalone episodes that were sort of like tangential to the actual story. 4 had a lot of great stuff in it, and then it had a lot of stuff. I'm like, well, they got kind of bogged down on these multi-parters, but it's just a crime that we didn't get season 5. And so let's see what we have here. By the way, someone just yesterday I found on a video where someone took the beautiful Jerry Goldsmith First Contact theme and put it onto the Enterprise credits, which are very controversial because of that song Faith of the Heart. And it was really amazing. It fit perfectly. Alejandro says, I've never understood the hate Voyager's gotten. Well, I hear you. I mean, it took me a long time to even warm up to it at all. I finally binged Voyager a few years ago. I like some of it and don't like others. I certainly don't have any hatred for it. I don't necessarily hate Voyager like a lot of people do. There are a few episodes of the 4th season I think are okay. Otherwise, I was not a fan of Enterprise overall, says Brian. Well, you're not alone. I love Enterprise personally, but I know there are a lot of people that don't care for it. Hungerboy said, I like the NASA feel of Enterprise. I like it. Yeah, my favorite episode of Enterprise was the one called, what's it called? First Flight? What's the name of that one? Where they show the beginnings of the flashback to the beginnings of the Warp 5 program. Yeah, let's see. Agreed. The threats to Archer meant he had crutches that added tension to the stories. I mean, yeah, they were unarmed. Agreed. Chris Persia, they're fly by the seat of their pants type thing. Absolutely. Let's see. Steven says, I enjoyed Enterprise except for the series finale. Yeah, series finale was a piece of garbage. What a horrible way. And they've even admitted, even Berman and those guys admitted it later. I always thought integrating it into the holodeck simulation during TNG's Pegasus was lazy and seemed that it was terrible. Killing Trip was awful too. He says, also in Enterprise, it was the only Warp 5 backship ship. Yet there was no backup. Yeah, that's right. Until the Columbia in season 4. That's right. TOS, let's see. J-Man says TOS, DS9, Voy, TNG Enterprises order. Yeah, well, to me, it's TOS, DS9, Enterprise, TNG, and Voyager. That'll be my. Actually, let me change that. TOS, DS9, Enterprise, TAS, and its films, than TNG and Voyager. Let's see. Oh, Alejandro, I actually like that. I don't dislike the song, but it still doesn't. It felt weird at first for them to have a song like that by a guy who sounded like Rod Stewart. Is all I'm saying. The only thing I could buy was the Mirror Universe Archer. Scott Bakula is too nice. I doubt his Mirror Universe counterpart would be anything more like it. He wasn't that nice though. See that I hate when they mess with the Mirror Universe. I didn't even like the way they did it on Enterprise. Those opening credits were really cool. It's because Mirror Universe story has to have somebody to root for. Everybody was a dirtbag. Alejandro says, did you know that RTD wanted there to be a crossover between New Who and Enterprise? Yes, I've heard about that. But those plans fell apart as soon as Enterprise was canned, just as Series 1 was airing in 2005. I've heard about that. I didn't know if it was true or not, but I've heard that if it's a rumor or whatever, but it would have been interesting to see the David Tennant Doctor go into the Enterprise. I don't dislike the song either. I'm just saying a lot of people hate it. And I think it works. Let's see here. So, and it was Enterprise was the closest to Roddenberry Trek since TNG, even though TNG had its faults and got away from it as well sometimes. As much as I love DS9, and I don't even mind Voyager, they're not always the most Roddenberry-ish. Enterprise did feel more like it. And of course, we all know Gene probably had a lot of problems with Enterprise too. He wanted to do it his way, of course, But I love the characters on Enterprise. I love Archer. I love Trip. Trip's one of my favorites. They're all great. They're really good characters. And the show was really, I think maybe a lot of people, I don't know if a lot of people were burned out. A lot of people just did not like the idea of a prequel. And by the way, I totally agree. Look, as I always say, life is complicated. Multiple things can be true at the same time. On the one hand, I can say I love Star Trek Enterprise, and they really liked it. I've watched it so many times. And yet, I could also say, it wasn't necessarily the right idea to do a prequel that takes place 100 years before Kirk. Probably not a good idea. Oh, my goodness, the lovely Sherry is here. Hello, beautiful. It is great to see that lovely face. I hope you're doing well. Alejandro says, don't know if it was going to be Tennant or Eccleston. That would be the Doctor was going to visit the crew. I don't know. Probably Tennant, since Eccleston only had the 1 year. If I'm, although by the time Tennant showed up, Enterprise was gone. So I don't know. You're right. I guess it could have been the Ninth Doctor. Chris says, here's a question, Clobberin Times. Would you include Vic Mignogna's Star Trek Continues in that list of Trek? No, personally, I wouldn't, Chris, even though I have every respect for it and like Star Trek Continues. It's closer to, I would do it before I would ever include any of the maggot-infested filth by Jar Jar Abrams from, But then Nick went in there in that last episode and stuck a model of the Discovery right behind his desk, so that pissed me off. But I have every respect for that. Those fan films, the ones that are labors of love, I just don't know if I would personally necessarily consider them canon, but I can tell you this. Anyone who does, I don't blame you. That's your own personal headcanon. If you want to call it that you won't get any judgment out of me. Tiger Stripes, what is up, love? Tiger Stripes says, Eccleston did the L.A. Doctor Who con. He seems to be more open-minded to discussing the role. It would be a great surprise if he returned. Eccleston and a whole bunch of people are coming down here close to where I live in Pensacon, which is a Pensacola, which I don't live too far. I've been to Pensacon a couple of times. in February. There's a bunch, all of the living classic doctors and Eccleston are going to be there, and some companions like John Barrowman, Catherine Tate, Janet Fielding, Sophie Allred. So that's quite a big group. Good to see you there, Tiger. Fanty says, have you seen the fan-made Star Trek Gods of Men? I think I did way back when. I have, like I said, I have every respect for the Star Trek Continues. I went to, and really like the Farragut people. I went to the sets that they use for Star Trek Continues. Like I said, in December of 2013, they had a thing called Farragut Fest, which was Starship Farragut, who they used to share their sets with Mignogna's crew, and Earth Continues. It's in Kingsland, Georgia, right up near Jacksonville. And I went. They had like a little mini con where you just like pay $5 and you could hang around the sets all day. You wouldn't believe being on those sets. I felt like I had been. It's the closest it's ever going to be to me actually going onto the sets of the original series. They're that good. I took so many pictures. That was what a day that was. It was so fantastic. Hanging. Actually, it was 2 days. So I think I went on a Saturday, and that Sunday, if I remember right. And it was just walking around those sets was magical. It throws your head into this wonderland. You're like, oh my God, I'm on a starship. I'm on the original Enterprise. I got plenty of great pictures from it, by the way, of course. You talk about mind-blowing to be on those sets. Oh my God, man. I loved it though. And I would love, I mean, I think they still have it. I don't know if they're still doing the fest or whatever, but it was sensational. And I would go back if I could, if they ever had it again. But nothing will touch that first time. They had, of course, the only thing they hadn't built yet was engineering. But man, walking through there, whether it was sick bay or in fact, who wants to see the sets that I visited at Farragut Fest in 2013? Let's see. Pull something up. I need to block this real quick. Let's see here. Let's take a look. I haven't showed these in a while. I don't know if any of you have ever seen these. What a magical time this was. All right. That is me in the captain's chair. Commanding you. I will be taking you out in the Enterprise today. And this doesn't even do it justice. All right, here we go. This is your captain speaking, folks. I'm commanding this ship today for you, so please pay attention to the view screen ahead. All right, here we go. As you can see, the sick bay was just amazing. But all of it was amazing. And yes, I'm probably went overboard taking little pictures of everything. Even the corridors. Walking in those corridors was a trip, man. It was just amazing. Ah, cool. Tiger stripes. Nice. Walking through these corridors gave me the chills, man. I was like, I've watched this show so much. I'm on the Enterprise. This was actually this was Starship Farragut, but they used it for Star Trek Continues also. It's just this was called Farragut Fest. So I was on both ships, the Farragut and the Enterprise, really. And look at the detail. It's just out of this world. Transporter room. It's just unreal. It was so much fun. Man, I missed this. There I am beaming in. I didn't even have. I was the captain. I didn't have to stand on the transporter pads. Besides, I was afraid I would break it. There's Kirk's desk. Yes, the Farragut is definitely also a Constitution class desk. It is Constitution class, yes. Yes, Tiger Stripes, Starship Farragut, and Star Trek Continues use this set. Now, there's also, I think I may have pictures of it. There's also the Romulan bridge and the inside of the shuttlecraft. But hey, Dave, good to see you. When I went to this, though, they had not yet built engineering, so I didn't get to see engineering. There was no engineering. They were working on it. Kirk's desk, and of course, the bridge. And isn't that amazing? This and it's just as beautiful close up. I got tons and tons of picture and video. This is just the tip of the iceberg, where I did a lot of close ups and stuff. You know, I ran my video for my whatever pad I was at the time. Oh, Florida SuperCon, cool. This thing was called Farragut Fest. It was like a 1-day little con thing they did, and it was $5 or something to get in. But I mean, and this was 2013 in December. I don't know if they have any. I think they might still do tours, Tiger Stripes. I don't know if they charge anything. I don't think so, because they're not really supposed to. But if they do, it's not much. There's also one made by James Cowley up in Ticonderoga, New York, where they got one that they use now that you can go do this just like this. You know, who knows? I can't imagine it being any better, but it's just as good from what I understand. Some more pics. USS Farragut. So yeah, this is Farragut Fest. They had the plate of the Farragut up there. Utopia Planitia, Mars. There you go, the turbo lift. Let's see here. Stuff, gadgets, great props and gadgets here from the show, of course, are made for the show. Now here's the Jeffries tube. Funny thing about this was when I found but the Jeffries tube, when I walked up to that, there was this really lovely, very pretty young girl there, or girl, I don't know, mid-20s or whatever she was, but young compared to me. Young lady, beautiful lady, who was standing at the thing. I don't know why she was standing there at first, and we started talking. And it turns out her last name was Jeffries. She found out not too many years before this. Hello there, JD Lewis. Good to see you, buddy. She found out not too many years before this that her uncle was Matt Jeffries, the legendary designer of the Enterprise and different things. And, the Jeffries tube was named after him. And she became interested in Star Trek when she found out about that. and she lived up. Like I'm not. I guess I don't know where she lives. Not too far from where they were doing some of the filming or what have you. Anyway, she was a sweetheart, pretty girl, and just became interested in Star Trek when she found out her connection to it, and I guess became a fan or whatever. And so I thought it was pretty nice. It was cool to meet her. And there's my beautiful friend Trekkie Kim. Today is her birthday, by the way, and my dad's birthday. So happy birthday to my dad and this lovely lady who's a very dear friend of mine. I met her at the convention. She lives way up north, but after knowing each other for many years, we finally got to meet at this convention or this con, and we got to hang out the whole weekend. And I just love her dearly, and she's a very sweet and very good friend of mine. Love you, Kim. And let's see. Shipwide environmental status. Another friend of mine, lady friend of mine who was at the con there that I hung out with, who I haven't seen in a while. Yvette, good to see. Erica, good to see you. There's Erica again at the helm. A lady friend of mine that I got to hang out with at the con a little bit there. And a sweet lady and a cool friend. And here's the Romulan bridge. Michael Carney says, so Farragut Films made the sets and Star Trek Continues bought a share of them and rented it out. I'm not sure what the deal was. I think they just made them in conjunction with each other. They just used them. But I can't really remember. I'm honestly, Michael, it's been so long, I can't exactly remember what the deal was or the arrangement was. Thank you, Chris Persia. Thank you for that. So there's the Romulan bridge. That's pretty cool. Here's the shuttlecraft interior, or the shuttlecraft helm. It's Courtney. Hey, what's up, Courtney? What is up, my dear? Great to see you. Alejandro says, had it gone to series, do you think Star Trek Phase 2 would have been a good show? I like to look at Enterprise for that series halfway between the two. Yes, I think it could have been good. It would have been weird without Spock. But I would rather it be a TV show any day than movies, even though obviously I love some of the movies. Oh, well, good to hear from you, Courtney. Yes, be careful out there driving. Lovely to see you, my dear, though. Hope you're doing well. Michael Carney said, what's that? He says, that's what the internet says. I was meant to say, sorry. What? I'm not sure what you're referring to. We need to backtrack. Oh, no, it could be true. I'm not saying it's not. That may be the case, Michael. I just don't really remember, to be honest with you. If I knew at any point, I've forgotten. So I don't know. Could be true. And now some stormtroopers got onto, as you can see, universes collided right here. Some snowtroopers got on there with Riker, who's out of his time zone, and on the bridge of the Enterprise, and wackiness ensued. Yeah, Lieutenant Zahn was going to be the science officer of full Vulcan there, Alondra. That's correct. Hey, look, I would have, even though I love the motion picture and I love the Wrath of Khan and the other original crew films, I would have preferred it be on TV. But then losing Spock wasn't good. But maybe, who knows? Maybe if it had lasted a little bit, Spock would have come back. I would have hoped Nimoy would have come back. Clobby just hanging out with his lady friends, paraphrasing an old line from a sitcom. Yes. So anyway, and here's some snowtroopers with some hot girls, because why not? Now, the lady in the blue outfit, unfortunately, it's kind of based on the Jar Jar Trek, but she was so hot, even I didn't care. And this really sweet lady was also a lot of fun to hang out with that I got to meet there. Beautiful girl in a nice outfit and stuff. She was cool. Got to hang out with her for the trip. We became buddies for a little while. So she was a sweetheart. And again, a good crew member, I'm sure. And there's Riker again telling these snow troopers to get off of his bridge. And there's my friend Erica again. And there's Spock's Viewmaster. I would give anything to be able to go back to this thing. There's the transporter control. How's that? Ain't that cool? Look at that. Bop, 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 bop. And there's the transporter side room of the side Viewmaster and scanning control in the transporter room. And there's another shot of the young lady in her nice little skirt. Tiger stripes, yeah, I was. That was as uniform as I was going to get the way I was dressed. But I hear you. And again, another cute lady. And a couple of more visuals here of the. I mean, look how the attention to detail is just incredible. Hey, Diesel, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Ah, okay. They're doing some chores. All right, J-Man, be seeing you, partner. Looking forward to hanging out with you soon, man. More control panels. Look at that. That's just so cool. Diesel, I like Star Trek Continues. I've seen it and I've watched them and I think they're really cool. I like them a lot. It's tough. Again, no matter how good the stories are and how the sets, I love them, love them, love them. It just can't. I've got this. Maybe not enough. If you don't have this good, I can't escape when I'm watching it. I'm not watching the original actors. It just means it'll never replace. I can't handle anybody else playing those characters. I can watch it and still think it's good, and I do. But it's tough. It's still tougher to watch but when it's not the original crew. I mean, when the original actors. Stories are good, admirable. Stories fit. They're real Trek stories. Of course, the sets and everything are just gorgeous. And the labor of love behind it really, really touches my heart. But when I watch anyone else playing the characters, I can't quite get there. Again, don't hate it. Like it, in fact, and enjoy it and do watch it. It's just not the same. Not quite. I mean, not for me. I see that, and I see Vic playing. And man, look, Vic's, I think, older than me, and I wish I was in the kind of shape that guy was in. But great shape, good dude. I like Vic Mignogna. When I watch him, I'm watching Vic. I'm not watching Kirk. When I watch Shatner play Kirk, I'm watching Kirk. Anybody else? And Leonard Nimoy is Spock, and there's just no way around it for me. Look at these instruments panels, though. Man, they're just incredible. Beautiful detail. Wah, wah, wah. This is making me want to watch a Trek episode. That's how cool this stuff is. Wah, 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 wah. Yes, I love that design. Yes, sir. But I have nothing but the highest respect for those fan films. The love of a fan. And here's my chair, folks. I love that shot of the chair right there. So, again, love this chair, folks. Hangar deck pressure for no particular reason, just because I had to have a picture of it. There's nothing I did not take a picture of. In some cases, I filmed a lot of stuff too. But I don't think there's one square inch of this thing I did not snap a picture of. And get some angles, as you can see. How you like that? Oh, that's badass right there. Except in this shot, you can see some of the background of the stage. More Kirk's chair. More indicators. More screens and stuff. Look at the work they put into this. This is a labor. They did this for no money. They did this putting out their own money. But these pieces of crap at the corporations, what they give us as opposed to what they could have if they just got the right people. It just makes you sick. Look at how much these people put into this stuff. Yes, this is the one in Georgia, Diesel, and lower Georgia, right above Jacksonville, Florida. Kingston, Georgia, Kingston, I think, or something called it. Yeah, I drove. It was about a 10-hour drive. Alejandro says, how do you rank the Enterprises from sexiest to ugliest in terms of looks? I don't know if any. For me, of course, this is weird, of course, because I'm an original series guy. But there's something about the refit Enterprise from the motion picture in the movies that I love only slightly more than I love the original Constitution class. But I love them on an equal level. After that, in no particular order, I kind of, believe it or not, I kind of like Enterprise E better than D. I do like B, which is just an Excelsior class ship. And I do like I like C. My boy Mark D with the C loves Enterprise C. I like Enterprise C's also. That's a good one. And I do like NX-01, I guess. I know it's still called Enterprise, so it counts. I don't think any of them are particularly ugly. At least for me, anyway. The only one that's ugly is that piece of garbage Jar Jar Abrams ones from the 09 and those movies. That's truly ugly. Yeah, that's a filthy piece of trash to me. So, and of course, Enterprise A is just the same design as refit. Oh, Diesel, yeah, you're closer than I am for sure. And they might still just go look at Farragut Fest or go search for that and see. There's Erica again at the Jeffries tube. Eric, she is again. And there's me as your captain. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be your captain for today. What in the hell? It's a lot of pictures. It's not even all the pictures I have. I think, well, it's most of them, but I filmed a bunch too, so. What happened? Let's see. The 09 Enterprise is better looking than the J, says Alejandro. I would respectfully disagree with you there. J's pretty weird looking, but I really cannot stand that horrible 09 one. I look like the Enterprise E better. I like it. I like the look of Enterprise E better than D because it looks like a 24th century version of the free fit Enterprise team. Yeah, I think that's probably why I like it more as well. Tiger Stripe says, Clobby, I'm going to tell you what Bruce Willis's daughter told him 10 years ago. Nobody's tucking their shirts in anymore. Dad? Oh, okay. So don't tuck shirts in. Got it. You don't. So, yeah, but why would I listen to her? She's a Hollywood person. So what are you trying to say, Tiger Stripes? Is you don't think I should tuck my nifty Star Trek shirt in? Well, look, it's bad enough I can barely, as you can see, barely fit in the chair. So, what can what can I tell you? But I have now you can't see it for the shirt I'm wearing over it, but that's my Star Trek shirt I got under there with the Starfield and the Enterprise on it and stuff. I was quite proud. But yeah, as you can see, there's not going to be I'm not going to look good in a uniform. So I'm not going to look good anyway, but definitely not in the freaking uniform. She's very stylish. I got you, Tiger Stripes. I feel weird if I don't tuck my shirt in. Well, if I'm wearing a shirt over it, I guess. Michael Carney says, see, I hate the go with Scotty. No, I shan't go with Scotty. No bloody A, B, C, or D. No, I will not go with Scotty. Thank you. But no, so anyway, that's a little bit of fun with pictures. I have so many pictures of dumb, geeky stuff here. And those are just some of them. Albums. Oh my goodness. I'm being hailed. Who's hailing me? Thank you, Hungry Boy. Appreciate that. I thought I was being hailed. Sorry. Cool, damn it. Okay, sorry about it. I thought I was being hailed. So, no. Let's see. Let's see. Tiger Stripes in a TOS uniform. Everyone, no, not me. Believe me. I will not be wearing any uniforms, I'm afraid. But thank you, Tiger Stripes. Let's see. Steven says, being a computer geek that grew up in the 80s and 90s, though I absolutely love the LCARS interface introduced in TNG. It looked so futuristic back then and still holds up today. That is very cool looking stuff. No question about it. Yeah. Phantom Messiah says, are you saying you can't pull off Buck Rogers' uniform? No, can't pull them off. There ain't going to be one that'll fit me. So pulling them off won't be an issue. Bum. Diesel. We talked about this a while back about the uniforms. Diesel says his favorites are the ones from Wrath of Khan. Well, they're great. I like the color scheme of the original series though, where you had the different colors. I liked that Kirk wore gold and they had gold, red, and blue. I kind of like that about it. Alejandro, no, don't imagine me in that. Now, if I were, in my orange rock thing form, yeah, that's the thing wearing a Star Trek uniform, I'd go for that. Yeah. So if anyone could want to, if we could make the thing wearing Kirk's uniform, it would be weird though because he's already orange and that's a gold color. It's not far off from it, but I think we could pull that off, as they say. Oh yeah, Hungry Boy says he could wear a what's it? He could wear a 1978 Kryptonian Council uniform because they are moo-moos. Yes. I guess even I could wear one of those then. You know, we again not too long ago we talked about this on the clubhouse, Raquel and Mark and I. I'm not so sure. I don't know what decision-making process, other than maybe budgetary concerns, went into the revamp of the uniforms in between, which was like 9-year period took place in between the motion picture and the Wrath of Khan. Whereas with the Wrath of Khan uniforms, and they're nice and everything, Starfleet decided all to have the same color. It's kind of boring, really. I kind of like that they had multiple colors before. And it's interesting that they did that. And then when the TNG started, which is, of course, obviously it's 100 years later, give or take, they went back to the multicolor scheme again, where, except they changed it around a little bit. Command had red this time instead of gold. Security and operations had gold, and sciences had blue. And that carried over for a while, even through DS9 and into Voyager for a while. Then eventually on DS9 and a couple of the subsequent TNG films, they went to that gray. The all gray thingy again. I'm not really sure exactly why they did that. Donnie Pearson, welcome. Good to see you, sir. Well, it's always good to be amongst the live streams you're watching, and I'm honored for that. Alejandro said Teal'c uniforms remind me of Victorian era British area uniforms that you see in movies like Zulu. Man, that makes sense. I can see what you're saying there. Yeah, I suppose so. I guess they're quite. I guess they look more military than some of the other Trek uniforms, I guess you could say. I like the motion picture uniforms, but that's just me. I mean, I know not all of them. Some of them are kind of clunky. I mean, they probably could have done without having the footsie pajamas. I got a buddy of mine that will forever call it the pajama party because he didn't like the foot, like the, I don't know, the onesie look to it, which is understandable. I didn't either, but I did like a couple of them. I like Kirk's Admiral uniform. But anyway, I like that they had multiple colors. They were again both for motion picture and for Wrath of Khan. It was each one had different types of color schemes from the other series, which is weird. If you think about it. So neither here nor there, of course. Speaking of, I did my crossover work honors. Yes, it is the 85th anniversary of Superman, or this year is, yeah. The first, as Tisa says, the first next generation uniforms looked like pajamas to me. Yeah. Poopy Stew didn't like it, as Raquel calls him. Poopy Stew didn't like him. Kal-El says, I always thought that the communicator being part of the uniform and TNG onward, instead of being carried around, was pure genius and made sense from a purely technological standpoint. Agreed. It made things very easy as well. But yes, I think it was a good idea. I was kind of cool with the motion picture having the Dick Tracy communicators on the wrists. That was kind of cool too. That worked. I mean, however, yes, the comm badge thing was a good idea. Yeah. Alander says, I'm surprised they didn't sell the TMB uniforms as pajamas. You can buy as merch back then. Yeah, well, yeah, I guess it wasn't really marketed to young enough kids for that, though they did have some toys. So I guess they sure could have. They sure could have. Yeah. They missed the boat on that with the Underoos, didn't they? Yeah. Yes, classic comics. Beat me up, prune face. See, bring me up, see. So yeah, what can you do? That would have been like I said, I think that if they would have had, and I don't have the picture right where I can grab it exactly right now, so I don't, but I'll just that picture out there that someone did a Photoshop of it was the Wrath of Khan uniforms, but colored in the color code of the original series. So in other words, Kirk and Spock were wearing gold. No, I mean, what was it? Kirk was wearing gold. Spock was wearing blue. Scotty was wearing red, and so forth and so, which I thought was pretty cool. I really wish they had done that. But what I really wanted from Wrath of Khan all that time was that coat. The coats, the away mission coats. I actually love the away mission coats they had in the motion picture as well. Underoos for adults, lasting, says Tiger Stripes. You never know. Could happen. It could happen. You never know. What was it? Steven says they should market the TNG uniforms today to adults as pajamas. I get one. So people do wear pajamas now? So are you guys saying that adults wear pajamas? I don't know. I'm just asking. Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess they do. I've seen them before. I guess I've seen them in stores. I mean, it's wear shorts and a shirt. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I've worn pajamas since I was a kid. I don't know, but that's weird. I mean, maybe that's why I'm, so messed up in life. Maybe if I had PJs, yeah. Pajamas all day, says Tiger. Oh, there you go. Okay. Wow. Cool. So let's see here. It is Wild Card Wednesday, of course. What is? Wait. Where are you? What did I do wrong? How'd I get there? I was just having some. Come on, man. Well, that's weird. Get off of there. All right. Okie dokie. Sorry. I'm having some issues. Tiger stripes, you wear okay, cool. Nice. Yeah. Oh, she says, my jammy pants have Millennium Falcon. I'm looking for another pair. Oh, yeah. Well, that's, of course, cool now. See, that's something I did to consider, but you can get pajamas with cool stuffs on them. Well, I mean, I don't know if all adults can. If they make them for all adults or not, but yeah. Okay. Everyone here but me has jammies, and they apparently have them with cool stuff on them. Shows what I know. What happened? What in the hell happened here? Okay. Albums. All right. No. Okay, I couldn't find what I was looking for. Never mind. Does anyone have any cons they're going to this year, because I don't know, I'm vacillating on going to one this weekend. Hey, Larry. Good to see you. But they got one coming to New Orleans this weekend that I haven't gone to in a long time. Okay, Michael. Michael says, don't know about the U.S., but the U.K. women go grocery shopping in pajamas. Really? Okay. Cool. Tiger Stripe says, I'd like to pick out a con or two to go to. What city is Worldcon in this year? I don't know. Good question. I don't know where Worldcon is this year. That could probably be found out though. We got one coming up this weekend that I've been offered free tickets to, but Tiger Stripe says, my bro keeps going on about how dangerous New Orleans is right now. It's always been dangerous. Yes, it is dangerous if you don't know where you're going. Yeah, stay out of certain parts of the quarter and other areas, especially at night. Picasso, hey there, good to see you. So it is dangerous, Tiger, in certain areas. Yes. Oh, Worldcon is in China this year. Oh well, there you go. Yes, it lets us out of that one. But they have this Fan Expo thing coming up. And then I got offered a free ticket, and I still don't want to go. It's only like an hour or so down there. But and even getting in free, because the price is ridiculous for one day even. But even getting in free on a Saturday, there's parking, But I might go and hang out with a buddy of mine. I don't know yet. I still have 3 days to survive to decide. Well, I'm kind of burned out on cons, to be honest with you, Tiger Stripes. Even though it's been a while since I've been to a big one. They have some smaller ones that I go to. At least once to twice a year, they have some small one-day cons that I quite like. Because, I can't really go spend any money anyway, to be honest. But just to go hang out with friends that meet me halfway from my Gulf Coast buddies. And we get to hang out for just a day, just to hang out and just run around the con and geek out like we used to get to do a lot more than we do now. And I just love doing that with them. But it's not like it's no chore to it. It's like $10 to get into the con, and you just go, well, one of them is 15, which is ridiculous. But it's a little one-day con. Yeah, it's a pretty good little con. But the con doesn't matter. We're going there to hang out with friends. Now, throughout the course of most of the 90s and almost all of the 2000s up till around 2016, I went to Dragon Con in Atlanta, which is about an 8-9 hour ride. Almost 20-something years nonstop with them. I think I missed 1 year. From some point in the 90s to about 2016. Only missing one because of a hurricane. That I got into. And Tiger Stripe says, I hear you. The last 2 World Cons I went to were disappointing, other than meeting up with friends. Yeah, the friends are the most important thing to me. I met the 2 most coolest friends I've ever had anywhere at any con. My wonderful retro blasting friends, Michael and Melinda, back in 2011 at Dragon Con. And I wasn't even going to go back, but I wanted to go hang out with them. So the times I went back, it was just to go. And we went to other cons together as well, just to be with them. They were worth it, and they made us trips worthwhile and so much fun. Con, I'd already been there so many times, and there's nothing more. Dragon Con had nothing more for me. It was just being able to go see your friends, which was important. And I would, if to this day, I would go if I could, just to see them. Things have happened now where I really can't, but the last big one I went was Dragon Con in 2016. I want to say 16. Or was it 17? Maybe 16. I think it was 16. 16 or 7. It was one of those 2. And I went with a lady friend of mine. We went up there because she wanted to cosplay her Wonder Woman outfit she had, mainly because that's what this is, a huge cosplay con. And it's still the last time, it's like the same time. It's like, there's certain things. Obviously, I loved seeing my friends. I loved hanging out with her. I loved, the trip itself was kind of fun, but the con, I could take or leave. We had, like I mentioned earlier at the beginning of the show, we have a con down here called Pensacon, which is Pensacola, which I went to its first year, and then another year I went a little bit. Another year I went, and now the venue's gone so out of control because they can't find a big enough place for it. And it's just a nightmare to go to. They got a bunch of big Doctor Who guests there. They've got all of the living doctors from 5 to 9. And some companions, Barrowman and Catherine Tate and Janet Fielding and Sophie Aldred. So it's a pretty big, big deal. Well, Dragon Con can be rough when they're Tiger Stripes because it's just so gigantic, and it's very expensive to get there. To go to it. I was lucky because I had a friend that lived in town that I used to go stay with, that I knew forever, that had a place I would go stay with in town. Yes, you're right, Larry. That's another reason why I don't want to go to Pensacon. They banned Vic Mignogna, which makes them shitheads, in my opinion. Banning anybody is ridiculous. So, and I won't go into what I know about the goings on behind the scenes with that con, just to let you know, I just don't think much of it. No, it does get crowded. Dragon Con, if you were a big time fan of cosplay, I'll say this for it. Then if you can pull it off, and it's not cheap, and you can get there real, close or whatever, I'd say go one year. They're always, and it's always Labor Day weekend. You probably enjoy it. It's huge. It's gigantic. It's like, I don't know how it's like maybe 5 or 6 hotels now in a big old gigantic convention center. And it takes up all of downtown Atlanta. It comes most of it, with a couple of other events going on that time of year. It's crowded. I mean, it's flooded with geeks. It is crowded. It's you're in for a big fight with the crowd. Let's just say that. But it is, it might be worth it. You might like to go one of these years. I don't know. If you haven't been, I certainly wouldn't say that you wouldn't have a good time. You might. I mean, hey. I just went there, when you go 20 something times in a row with like only 1 year off from it, eventually you get the, what's the big deal? And, after a while, and this con coming up this week in New Orleans was formerly Wizard World Con, which was a joke. They run like crap. Expensive, bloated drivel. Those were really shitty, but I went many years in a row before I just finally got sick of it. Wizard World Con in New Orleans. Wizard Cons in general were garbage. And I don't expect it to be any better. They've been bought out by Fan Expo. Hey there, Polymies Minion. I hope you're doing well, my dear. And as always, shout out to the pepperoni. Hope you're both being safe and being well and having a wonderful night. Always lovely to see you. So now Wizard World is owned by they were all bought up by Fan Expo. I don't expect them to be any better. Again, it used to be I couldn't wait to go. Every time I want to go to a con, it's because friends are going to be there. Now, a buddy of mine who asked if I'm going, I haven't said back whether I would go. He's going this weekend. My daughter's going. Yes, Tiger Stripes, Wizard Worlds are crap. I just don't know if I feel like making. I might sneak up there Saturday morning, run around for a while with a friend of mine, hang out throughout the day, and then come home just in time to do Saturday night Star Trek. So I might do it. What the hell? Could certainly use the exercise. Got to. And so, if to my friend out there, if you're hearing this, buddy, I'm thinking about it. Long live the Legion, indeed, my friend. I don't know. Why not? If I get in for free, because it was Wizard. It's just, I don't know. I got here's another thing about me. I don't know. Tiger Stripes. I'll ask you. I don't know, and the rest of you. Don't get me wrong. Guests are great, but I gotta say I've never really went to cons for guests that much. I don't go to panels that often. I sometimes do, back especially when there were comic guests and stuff at some of these the comics related cons I've been to. But I just not an autograph guy. It's so expensive to get an autograph picture now. You walk up to talk to these celebrities, and you feel like you got to spend money with them to talk to them for 5 minutes. And I understand from their point of view, sure, they're there to make money. They make to make a living, to cash in, and that's all fantastic. It's great. I understand that for them. I really do. But you go, man, I just don't want to. I don't know if I want to spend that kind of money on something like that. But that said, if you do want to go meet the people, I can understand it. It's just that again, when I was really into that, going to meet people, meet like fans or people that I'm a fan of, celebs or what have you, it was just a different time. It didn't cost $300 freaking bucks to breathe their air. It didn't cost $80 and $90 for a freaking autograph then. But now it does. And I mean, now it's just stupid money to get an autograph. It's just, I don't know who can afford that. I mean, you could now whether you could get a few of them. Now you can't get, maybe you can get one or two. The big guys charge such ridiculous money. I mean, it used to be, I can remember again. I know it sounds like the old man sitting on the porch, but I remember you could buy a picture from them and they would sign it. They'd be selling their picture for $10, sometimes $20. And you buy that one and they'll sign it for you. And that was it. You end up walk away $20. And you got a picture with Nathan Fillion or someone from Firefly or Trek actor or Doctor Who actor even. And that was pretty cool. Not anymore. Now I think the cheapest. I mean, they all set the prices are on some sort of a scale depending on how popular some of these people are, and some are more popular than others. But I doubt anybody's $20 anymore. Probably not many. I don't know. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say the Doctor Who people aren't that cheap anymore. I don't know what they are because it's been a while since I've even bothered. And I don't know. Like I said, I'll go to have fun with my friends, and that's about it. Rod Thunderheart, what's that, bud? Hey, good to see you. Is that true, Chris Persia? He says, didn't Jodie Whittaker charge $150 last convention she turned? Who would pay $150? Who paid $1.50 for Jodie Whittaker's autograph? Holy shit! Then what would Peter Capaldi get then? If that's true, I don't know if it's true, but Eccleston must be getting stupid money. I wonder what. Look, if she charged that, Chris, all I got to say is how's business. Oh, cool. Good to hear that, Rod Thunderheart. Excellent. Alejandro said, at one time, Arnold was at my con. He was charging $400 or more just for his autograph. I guess you mean Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'd pay $10 for. Yeah, I'd pay $10 for Jody Whittaker to go away. I'm pretty sure that's what. Oh, look, I'm not saying you're wrong, Chris. You're probably right, man. I just. Brian Hepburn said we got pics with David Tennant from Adjaman together in a packet 2018 because the kids were hyped. Okay. I bet it wasn't cheap. I mean, these celebs, hey, look, more power to them if they're getting the money for it. I'm just saying. Yeah. So I know Shatner gets $300 or $400. Maybe $4 now. I know it was in the 300 range, and that's for a pic, and then more for a photo op. I paid $5 in 1986 to walk into the World of Wheels, and then walk up to the table and shake hands with William Shatner for nothing. And I got a picture. I lost my picture. My buddy of mine still has his picture with Shatner. Mine got lost in one of the floods years later, but but he still has his. Rod Thunderheart says he paid $60 for the Incredible Hulk. Meaning, I guess he means Lou Ferrigno. Wow. I'll say this for the Supernatural cast, says Tiger Stripes. When you see a staged photo with them and their fans, they always have their arms around them. Yeah, look, those guys are smart, and they have they know that fan base. The fan base loves them, and hey, I'm not even accusing them of anything other than being appreciative of being appreciated, because many human beings who aren't really, who are also good people, yes, they're on a TV show that is loved by all these girls, and they show appreciation back to all these fangirls, as they call them, who love their show, and they treat them well. And that's very admirable, because Supernatural lasted 20,000 years. But hey, look, I'm not judging it. They were very popular, and their fans are very happy. I'll pay Jody a jelly baby. Yeah, I wouldn't waste a good jelly baby on her, buddy. Come on. Never been an autograph collector, says Ty. Yeah, I used to have a few autograph pictures, but me either. Yeah. But never when they got ridiculous, though. When they were, $20, that's about as high as I ever think I paid for an autograph that I can remember, because I stopped getting them years and years and years ago. So I know they're way more than that now. I think maybe the most I paid for one was at Pensacon. The last time I went to Pensacon, I want to say maybe it was like 2016, maybe, or something. And Terry Farrell was there from Star Trek Deep Space Nine. She was lovely, and she had a picture of herself from, the episode Trials and Tribulations, and she was a dear, and she was a sweetheart. And I think it may have been $40. She was very quiet and polite, and so she seemed very timid about it, but I think I might have got it just because I'm sitting there talking to her. I'm like, I better get this, I got to get something. It is admirable, Tiger Strips. I'm glad that they treat their fans well. That's what you should do. I mean, you may as well look. These fans are giving you a living, pal. Be nice. And some of them will talk to you. Yeah, and look, a lot of these people, especially the smaller rung celebrities, if you want to call them that, will talk to you and be nice to you, and so it's cool. They're part of something that you like, and that's all good. That's fine. I'm talking about, look, I love Shatner and all, but you paid like 300 freaking bucks or more to stand next to him for 3 seconds to get a picture. He'll shake your hand, and he won't really acknowledge you other than that, and you're out of there. You know what? I can love him and watch his TV shows and movies and not pay a dime to him ever. Not pay certainly that much. And I already got to meet him and shake hands with him when he was in his prime, sort of. Tiger Stripe says, when Firefly was on the air, small group of fans met in Las Vegas, and Fillion and Baldwin drove up to meet them. One of my lasting regrets is I didn't go. I would have loved to meet Lux Lecrae. Lux Lecrae? In 2004 at Dragon Con, Nathan Fillion, Adam Baldwin, and Jules State were there. And there was this group that started with kind of like the brown coats table. We went and it was kind of a new group, a new Firefly group. Well, not sort of new. I mean, they were fans, but they were just now getting to meet a lot of people. A lot of Firefly fans were converging upon that table, and we became all friendly and stuff. And Jewel State came by the table many times, and I bought a Firefly cast picture and a couple of other pictures. And of course, I walked up to, I talked to Nathan Fillion, and I talked to her, and I talked to Adam Baldwin. They're all really nice. And then before I got the cast picture, I just got them to sign individual pictures. And then I think she was away from the table, but I got those two to sign my cast picture. And then a little bit later, I bump into Jewel State again at the Browncoats table. And we're talking, and she shows me, like she said, her husband went and bought this Batman Beyond statue. Her husband was a geek. And I said, oh, cool. And we started talking about geek stuff. And then I said, well, I'll be over there to see you at the table later. She said, well, didn't you already get something signed? I said, yeah, but I got this cast photo. I'll be over there to get you to sign that later. She says, oh, please. She took it out of my hand and she signed it right there. You don't have to wait in line. I'm like, oh my God, what a sweetheart. And I'm like, are you sure? She said, oh, don't worry about it. So again, very nice of her. Because I was gonna go back and pay whatever the $20. I think it was like $20 for the signature. Pastor, I'm sorry to hear about that. Tiger Stripes, yows. I did not know. I did not recognize the name there. Okay, I got you. But yes, I was part of the big, huge file. I was a Firefly fan from get-go, from network TV. TimeCon and Baycon were fun in the 80s and 90s, says Brian Hepper. I don't know. Yes, Jewel was an absolute doll. Loved her. She was a real sweet girl. Beautiful lady. Still a beautiful lady too. I think I see her on some stuff. Seen pictures recently. But yes, absolute angel. And who was it? Alan Tudyk was nice. Fillion was nice too. And who was all the Firefly people were nice. Ron Glass was nice. The only one there's only like one or two I didn't get to meet. Unfortunately. And yeah. So I mean I was nuts for that show though. But a lot of the best cons were the smaller ones where I got to go to and meet, Pensacon won the first one in 2014. I had a fantastic time. I got to hang out and be buddies with Parker Stevenson. He was really cool. They had a lot of a lot of celebs that you would, a lot of the bigger names or anything, but they're, you would know them if you're old enough probably. And they were there and they were it was just, this thing is it's at an ice skating rink. And it still is, by the way. And at this time, it was an ice skating rink and a hotel. So, let's see here. Oh, Cullum Jessica Line Glad, yeah. Massive Firefly fan, even when it was on the air I was a fan when it first came on. The first episode hooked me, and I recorded them all on VHS and watched them over and over again, and even though they didn't show all the episodes. And then let's see, the only ones I didn't get to meet were Gina, that idiot Joss. I'm trying to think. Oh, I didn't get to meet Sean Moore. I don't think I got to meet Sean Moore. He was at a con I was at, but I wasn't able to go meet him. I think that's all. I think I met all the other ones. And I got most of them on my cast picture, but yeah. Keely Chow, Roll Tide. So Took the VHS to friends trying to turn them on. Mostly had to find the show themselves. Yes. Well, it was a tragic thing back then. I got to see Morena Baccarin at the panel. Diesel, I got to sit there and watch her live, but I didn't get to go talk to her. I didn't get to go get her picture at the con, because at that con, that was the year that I was pretty messed up. That was the year of Katrina. I'm from down here and that lived through the two big horrible hurricanes down here, Katrina, that year. And we really we were at that con because we were escaping Katrina and there was nowhere else to go. And the whole time with that con, I was just kind of messed up. There were things I meant to go talk to her at her table. I meant to go get her autograph, her and Sean Marr. And I was walking around in a haze at that con and just didn't go. The whole time I was worried about people that I've lost contact with, including my daughter and a whole lot of other people. So it was pretty messed up. Yeah, I was, Tiger, I was the whole time. I mean, we had to go somewhere because where I was living, the town, a lot of people we had been spared the brunt of it, but we were going to have no power for days. We were going to have people coming, all to the town. Everything was going to be shut down. So we escaped by going on my regularly scheduled trip, which was Dragon Con, and just say, wait, man, got to be somewhere. Went there, and it was just, the con wasn't really that much fun that year, and there were a lot of things I didn't do because of that. That was 05. Yeah, and it was Diesel, and it was just kind of, like I said, I couldn't find a couple of us, myself and my friend who was with me, we couldn't find people. There were people like our family members we lost contact with for days and a week in some cases. It was horrible. I went to the LA 94 earthquake. It was a shock for weeks, in which, oh my God, yeah. Wow, damn. I hear you there. So that was a con that I was at, but not really in spirit, because there are things I wanted to do, and every time I would think about doing something, I'd be like, I got people suffering, and I don't think I need to be having fun. It was a weird one. But anyway, as far as cons are concerned, I don't know. I might go Saturday. I might be too lazy. I don't know. I want to go. I mean, if I can get in for free, it's at least, I might do it just to hang out with a friend of mine. Yeah, Katrina was a fun one. And that was with Katrina. That was when Rita came in right after it and made it worse. It's funny how Katrina gets all the name recognition, but people forget Rita, which was the week after. So anyway, hard to believe how long ago that is now. But anyway, tough time, weird times. So I guess I got started down on this path of cons. I think I might do that this weekend. I don't know. I might talk myself into going, and I'll come back in time for Saturday Night Star Trek, of course, but it's only New Orleans. But I don't know. Something to do. Roll Tide indeed, Keely Chow. And how about them Cowboys? So, there you go. Oh, my goodness. What else is going on in the geek world, folks, that we're able to talk about? Because we're not talking about that stupid story that we all mentioned at the early beginning of the show that everyone else is freaking talking about. Traditionally, if everyone else is talking about it, I don't want to. Mark D. with the C was a man that he became. No, just kidding. What's up, Duder? And Minimusness is here. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. We could be playing the game of Rassilon at this very moment, Brigadier. Yes, sir. All right. What was going on? Oh man, I had it written down. Even I can't remember. No, I didn't write it on that. Where'd I write it? Oh my God. Where's all my damn notes? There you go. No, I ain't right either. Well, crap. I'll just have to wing it. All right. Alejandro says, weird transition, but since you're talking about disasters, are you a fan of disaster movies? I'm a big fan of the classic ones from the 70s, like Poseidon Adventure, Tower Inferno, and Earthquake. I really did like the Poseidon Adventure. Yeah, that's the original. I've never watched the remake, of course, but even though Kurt Russell's in that for some reason. Yeah, The Great Hackman. Yes, okay, sure. I definitely like that one. And I went to see it as a kid, of course, a couple times maybe. Tower of Inferno, sure. Yep, I like that. And even Earthquake. Earthquake was in Sense-Around, I think. I went to see Earthquake in Sense-Around. That's how old I am, Alejandro. I don't know if you're familiar with Sense-Around. But yes, Earthquake, to be honest, was kind of a pot. It was kind of a silly, like a, I don't know, kind of a silly soap opera. But I think Charlton Heston was in it, but so was Marjo Gortner. So I wish my buddy Flash was here. As soon as I get him talking about Marjo Gortner. I can't believe I even mentioned Marjo Gortner on this show. That should be like a taboo or something. So everyone forget I mentioned Marjo. Fortunately, none of you probably know who Marjo is. I hope you don't. And at least Claude Parrish is quoting Free Enterprise. He capsulized the ship in under 2 hours with Shelley Winters on board, though. That's hard. Not a fan because you haven't seen any of those Tiger Stripes. Yeah, but no, to be honest, Alejandro, I don't really think I wouldn't call myself a fan of disaster movies per se. Movie disasters, and that's another thing. Oh, yeah, Airport 77. That was a good one. Hey, your Muslim uncle, what's up, buddy? Good to see you, my friend. I hope you and your family are doing well. It's funny you mentioned that, though, Alejandro. As far as I know, only 3 movies were in Sense-Around, and I saw them all in Sense-Around. Earthquake, Roller Coaster, and Battlestar Galactica. What a combination. Yes, the original Battlestar Galactica pilot was shown as a theatrical version before the series aired. It was in theaters, of course, and I saw it twice in Sense-Around. Phantom Outsider says, I know you haven't watched Stargirl yet. However, the last 3 minutes of the finale is on YouTube and is probably the best comic book finale ever aired. Clobberin Times. Try to check it out. Will do, Phantom. Oh, yeah, Midway. Saw that one, too. Midway wasn't Sense-Around. That's right. My bad, Alejandro. I forgot all about Midway. Damn me. J.D. Lewis says, way back in 2006, I saw Robert Vaughn at Chiller's Con. Oh, cool. Man, the man was a class act. He was extremely generous. And with this time, he talked to me for almost 15 minutes. Wow. Robert Vaughn, I would love to have met him. The man from U.N.C.L.E. himself. The real man from U.N.C.L.E. And he was a real man. So I saw 4. Well, I saw all 4 in the theater then. Wow. Ooh, wait a minute. Did I see Midway at the theater or not? Now I can't freaking remember. Crap. My memory sucks, but I do. The thing I remember most is going to Battlestar Galactica twice and going to Earthquake and even Roller Coaster. You think there would have been more? I remember back then even wanting there to be more Sense-Around movies. As insane as it was, because especially if you sat on the front row like an idiot, which we did as kids. I mean, it'll go. That theater just shook oh boy. Yes, Feel Around, Kentucky Fried Movie. I love that movie. Tiger Stripe says, that is classic. I saw the terrible movie from The Man from U.N.C.L.E. My favorite part was Henry Cavill's dead on impression of Robert Vaughn's voice. No, Buck Rogers was not in Sense Around, Minimus. Let's see. So you didn't like that Men from Uncle movie either, Tiger Stripes? Here's the interesting thing about that is, I've not seen it, by the way. I like Cavill, but I hate the Snyder movies. So it's a shame he never got to play Superman for real. But I just never watched it because I like the Man from Uncle TV show. But all I ever hear from people is how good that movie is when it's people who don't really care about the TV show. I mean, so many people are saying he's so good in that. That movie's so good. And then I'm going, I almost got to say, well, everyone says that movie's good. Maybe I should watch it. And then a buddy of mine comes over the other night. I hadn't seen it in a while. Who loves the Man from Uncle TV show. And he said the movie's garbage. Who should I listen to on this? A fan of the original of the TV show that says the movie's garbage, or people who don't really know the TV show? I hear you, Phantom. I saw Close Encounters in the Cinema Dome close to its opening, and I vividly remember that seat vibrating under me as the mothership landed. I too saw it at the theater back then a couple times. I don't think I got to see the special edition at the theater, though. Tiger Stripes also says that Man from Uncle movie had almost nothing to do with the Man from Uncle TV show. Cavill's Robert Vaughn impression was the only good thing about it, says Tiger Stripes. Gotcha. Diesel says the Generation 1 Transformers Megatron toy is a Walter, I think it means a Walter P3 P38 based on the gun from the Man from Uncle. Well, Ian Fleming did co-create the Man from Uncle with Sam Rolfe. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Everybody who's a fan of the TV show, or not everybody, the person I've talked to that I trust most about the TV show says the movie's drivel. But then when I hear people who just in general out there in general talking about Cavill and they're talking about the Man from Uncle movie, all I ever hear is that it's really good and they like it and stuff. And people say it's a fun movie and says that he's great. Now he might be good. Multiple things can be true at the same time. I'm sure he's probably pretty good in it because he's a very likable actor, and yet it's just nothing to do with Man from Uncle. Donnie says even though Superman 3 was as junky as the current Star Trek shows, I love its score by the late Ken Thorne. See, I didn't like the way Ken Thorne was, the way he rehashed the John Williams music. I didn't care much for how he did it, to be honest, Donnie. But then again, it's only because, I love John Williams so much. Trust the Uncle Show fan. I will. JD, that's a good policy, sir. I will do that. The best actor still cannot save a bad movie. It's all about the writing and direction. Yeah. True. But I understand what you're saying. Now, to be honest, was it Thorne? Who did the music? Redid the Williams score for Superman 2, or was it 3? It was 3, right? But who did it for 2? I can't remember because it wasn't Williams. I mean, it was, but it was someone. I mean, it was his music, but someone reorchestrated it, if I remember right. And Kevin, what was that? I can't remember the name of the guy now. Maybe it was. I might be thinking about Superman 2. Donnie. I may be mixing it up with my crappy memory. Alejandro, I don't know. I don't think Alexander Courage did, but I mean, it was clear. It was John Williams, but I think that someone took his music and in my opinion, watered it down and didn't do a great job with it on the Richard Lester cut of Superman 2, theatrical and even as if I recall correctly. And so I remember really having problems with it. Sure. Indeed. Jump on in, buddy. So, there you go, Ken Thorne with Superman 3. So, who was Superman 2? Who did it? Because I'm pretty sure. What's up, dude? Let yourself in.
Hey, hail to everyone.
Hey,
Wildcard Wednesday.
good to see you. I can't remember if it was the one for Superman 2 as well, but I know that it was them. It was somebody redoing or reorchestrating the Williams score for the Lester cut, and I can't really remember who it was now, but it was not good. I thought it was a pretty poor use of Williams music, but I can't remember. I'd have to double check that. You know what I'm talking about? Or you familiar with that?
No, I'm not really familiar with that. Yeah. So I mean, I love the music in the Superman movies, but
yeah. But 2, it's different. I mean,
it's different.
It's Williams music.
But you're saying
I
they
think
didn't
somebody,
messed it up.
I think so, or maybe it was for 3. It may have been 3. Maybe 2. I thought it was 2, but now it may have been 3. Whichever one it was awful. Thorne did 2, 3. Okay, did 2 and 3. There you go. Ripped off Williams. Okay, there you go. J.D. Lewis. It was Thorne. Yeah, I thought so. I thought it was awful. And Alexander Courage did 4. Okay. It sticks out in my mind being 2 and 3 not good at all. I mean, when you compared to how great, again, the music's still great, of course, because it's Williams.
They use the theme, yeah.
But they fiddled with it for the movies.
Well, they always love to change things.
But they didn't so much change it. They just did their
this
own
wasn't
take
a good
on
score.
it, I guess.
Yeah.
It was before they got a hold of it. It's just it was off. How about that? It was the same music, but it was off.
I mean, the one thing, Man of Steel, which I can't stand, obviously, with like you, but I love the soundtrack on that movie. Was gorgeous.
It's not fitting a Superman movie, but
but see, the music was great in that. Yeah.
Okay, in fact, the opening theme of Superman 3 is different. They didn't use the Williams score, and it was really silly, if I remember right. Because I think it was. I'd have to go back and watch it, but it was pretty dopey because they had that whole goofy crap in Metropolis. Remember the opening credits of Superman 3?
That's been so long. I usually just watch 1 and 2.
Yeah. About a year or so ago, whatever it was, Minimus came over, and for some reason, I don't know. I have no idea why. We just turned on Superman 3 because I was flipping around through some stuff while we were sitting down. It was in the middle of the day, and we sit and watch the whole stupid thing. It was weird. That movie sucks. And yet, because it's modern day, it didn't feel as bad as it did 30 years ago.
It just was bad. Yeah.
It was
you
still
love Richard Pryor, but it just doesn't fit. Yeah.
It's still bad though.
Jeez. Yeah. It's like, what were they thinking?
Oh yeah. Who scored Superman Returns? Says Alejandro. I don't know.
Did Haney write Superman 3?
Yeah, Bob Haney wrote it. It was that. You know what? You laugh, but that was like a Bob Haney script.
That's why I was, half joking, half.
He might as well. I think that was those idiots, the Newmans, David and Leslie Newman, who got a hold of this, and they wrote what was basically you see in the Lester cut of Superman 2. That's David and Leslie Newman, those morons, and they're the ones who wrote 3.
Yeah, I mean, comedy. I mean, it's just remember we're supposed to get Eddie Murphy in The Voyage Home. That probably would have wrecked the movie, I think.
Boy, oh boy.
I mean, Eddie Murphy back then was a great actor, and he's still pretty. It just his projects, he was the biggest actor in the world for a while. But yeah,
it would have wrecked the movie and him because he couldn't say the F word.
Yeah.
He couldn't get raunchy because it's a Star Trek movie, and he would have been. It's like, well, look, you got what's his face, Richard Pryor in a Superman movie, so he can't really be Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
So he has to be a lovable clown, and that's not really doesn't work for Richard Pryor. So why in God's name do you put him in there? But that did save us from getting Eddie Murphy in a Star Trek movie. That could have easily been the other way. I think it. Oh God, yeah, I think they were looking at that because remember, Trek 3 was a few years later. But every time somebody probably talked about putting him in there, they said, "Yeah, do you remember a movie called Superman 3?
How did that go?
Yeah, how you can make this movie lighthearted, but if you make it that ridiculous, I would be. I bet dollars to donuts it had something to do with it. I mean, they would never admit it. They're going to come out and admit that, and I don't know, but
yeah,
yeah. There's a great line from it. That's exactly right. Classic. I asked you to kill Superman, and you can't do that one simple thing. Yeah, it's simple. It's sure.
Yeah, real simple.
Yeah. Now Jerry Goldsmith's score for Supergirl was really good, Brian. Yeah, was really good. He says he thinks Eddie would have played it straight in Star Trek. He wanted that. Yeah, he probably would have played it straight. Hey, Matty's Eddie. Good to see you, buddy.
Hey, Steve.
You're probably right, Tiger Stripes. And Harv Bennett probably wouldn't have been. Here's the thing about that. Harv Bennett, if they had forced Eddie on him, with him, Nicholas Meyer, whom I have a lot of problems with, but can write decent scripts, and Nimoy directing, and Eddie Murphy loving Star Trek, I think you're right. I think they could have possibly made it work, but I'm still thinking there were people going, I don't know, man, Richard Pryor. But that said, I think it might have been a different kind of an outcome. Nevertheless, he's still overpowered. With this kind of star power at that time, he would be really overpowering even against the Star Trek people.
And then why have Eddie Murphy in it if he's not going to be Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
Right.
He's still playing it straight. There's the thing. Yes, he's not going to be Eddie Murphy. Let's face it. In 48 Hours, he's Eddie Murphy. He's that person. In Beverly Hills Cop, he's still Eddie Murphy. In all of his best, most successful movies, he's Eddie Murphy. I mean, there are variations on the character, but he's still Eddie.
He's got that personality, comedic genius. Yep.
It's just they were right. Again, would it be as bad as Superman 3? Maybe not, but it would have been weird. And they made the right choices. So. Steven says, full disclosure, I agree with every single point that you and others in the chat have made about Superman 3, but it's still a guilty pleasure of mine. Superman 4, though. Well, I think you should feel guilty. You, sir. You are guilty. Guilty. So I sent the Jew to the Phantom Zone, sir. Not even the Agonizer, the Phantom Zone. That would be fun to clip, by the way. The vote must be unanimous, Jarrell. Therefore, it is you who will condemn us if you wish, and you who will be held responsible by me. Join us. By the way, I know we're jumping all over the place here. Do you know why the Phantom Zone villains were on trial at the beginning of that movie?
I'm forgetting now why they did it.
Let's play a game. All right, my friends. Yep. Do you know why? And I'm gonna play. Here we go. Obviously, we've all seen Superman the movie. I'll never forget, and this is going to be kind of a joke, a trick question. So just for the fun of it, though, we've all talked about Ask the Answer Man. You all know how much I love Ask that. Bob Rozakis had his Answer Man column in DC Comics way back when. Someone asked him way after the movie came out, said, why were the villains on trial? Because they don't really say much in the movie, right?
They never say anything?
They just said insurrection.
A rebellion?
A rebellion. They were trying to...
I thought, right, yeah.
Author of this insidious plot that threatened even the children of the planet Krypton. Because Marlon Brando couldn't say Krypton, he says Krypton. Anyway. So, what was the plot? Does anyone know? Does anyone know? Bob Rozakis was
make everyone on Krypton eat broccoli?
The Answer Man answered it. No, sir. But I think you're being facetious. No. So, do you know?
I do not know. I thought it was some kind of rebellion or insurrection, but
Yeah, basically. But what was he? How was he trying to take over them? I mean, how were they trying to overthrow?
Was it a military coup or was it?
Put it this way: you're not even if you're wrong, you're not wrong because this is what Bob Rozakis' answer was. I'll tell it in a minute. Does anyone know what Rozakis' answer is? Anybody? Sort of overthrow the council, yes, but how is he going to do it? Does anybody know? Yes, how was he going to do it? Sort of a military coup. It's like there's no right or wrong answer. Bob Rozakis, who was called the Answer Man back there at the time, answered. Here's was his answer when someone said, "What was the plot for? What was Zod's plot to overthrow the Kryptonian council?" He said he was going to overthrow and take over the government using an army of bizarros.
No way.
That's what he said. I didn't
Why
say
would
it was right or
bizarros
wrong.
wouldn't even existed then?
Well, I mean, just telling you what he
Right.
said.
I know.
They could
yeah,
exist
yeah.
on Krypton. They can make them. You know. Hey, don't blame me. I'm not. Don't kill the
I
messenger.
don't blame the messenger. Yeah, but that's insanity. I mean,
And an army of bizarros. That would have been cool. Yeah. But that's what Bob Rozakis said in an Answer Man column in 1979 or 80, somewhere up in there. With an army of bizarros. I was going to go, what?
wackadoodle.
Oh my God, never forget that. Which is ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I forget useful stuff, folks, not useless shit like that.
Yeah, I can remember crazy things like we did a movie review on Toxic Tuesday. We did Revenge of the Nerds. I can still remember like who I went to that movie with, what movie theater, and like I can close my eyes and picture myself going to see it. And it's just crazy that you remember that kind of stuff. And I can't remember names or things.
Exactly. Well, I would remember that. I mean, I remember a few things he said in his column, but especially, in fact, I interviewed him back in 2000 on this show. Well, it was the other version of this show back in 2011 or 12. I think 11, maybe 10, 11, 12, somewhere up in there. And I asked him that. I asked him to talk to, and now I don't remember the whole conversation, but I remember bringing that up to him, and he was laughing. We talked about it. So that was his answer. Now, again, we all know that he was just saying that because people ask dumb questions.
It'd be fun, yeah.
Because I doubt it was in any of the scripts. So don't get me wrong, folks. That's why I said it was a trick question, because he did say that. I mean, that was his answer, but he was just being facetious, I'm sure.
Yeah.
An army of bizarros. I mean, what else? Well, if you think about what else was he going to use? He could have used something.
What does Zod need with bizarros? I mean,
what does Zod need? I think he would need an army, would he not? If he's going to take over the council. Yeah, I mean,
right.
Yes. This act of the ultimate aim of sedition. This act of insurrection. This mindless aberration. The woman Ursa, whose perversions and unreasoning hatred of all mankind have threatened even the children of the planet Krypton. Yes.
I thought Brando was talking to me for a second. That was pretty good.
Oh, yeah, right. The vote must be unanimous, Jarrell. Therefore, you alone will condemn us if you wish, and you alone will be held responsible by me. Join us. You have been known to disagree with the council before. Yours could become a high important voice in the new order, Jarrell, second only to my own. You will bow down before me, Jarrell. I swear it. No matter that it makes an eternity, you will bow down before me. Both you and in one day, your ass. Sorry. I had to. I couldn't resist it. Sorry, everybody. Sorry.
Hey, and you said you don't like Superman 2. Come on. That was classic.
That's Superman 1. What are you talking about?
Oh, I'm just trying to trick you. See my garbage.
You tried to trick me. Oh, dear. Sorry. Dude, headphones. Oh, sorry. I thought I moved back far enough from the microphone. I'm sorry, Tiger Stripes. Oh, what's
Miss
there?
Tessmacher.
Albert Belamonte says, actress Valerie Perrine, aka Mrs. Tessmacher, is auctioning off her lovely red dress she wore in the Superman movie as she battles Parkinson's disease for a charity. Oh my goodness. I see her on Twitter sometimes. Nice, sweet lady.
Miss Tessmacher.
Yes, Hungry Boy Ursa did work for the Mary Sue. Yes, Alejandro Terrence Stamp would have made a good Mazda. Oh, that's another thing we talked about tonight on the Comic Book Roundtable. Someone saw something where they're trying to bring back Terrence Stamp for the stupid Flash movie, and they're going to put him in it as Zod. They're going to de-age him some crap for a scene.
I mean, if it's done well, I don't mind, but it's got to be a good story. You're not going to win me over with member bears. Yeah, so what's
dumb. The movie's going to be crap. I don't even know if that's true. That was something that we're talking about tonight on the Comic Book Roundtable. Someone came up with. It's just dumb. I mean, I don't see much point to it. I mean, I love Terrence Stamp.
Well, so the actress has Parkinson's. I didn't see that. Okay, so she's doing that.
Valerie Perrine has it. Yeah.
Yeah, Parkinson's sucks. Yeah, it's.
Does he even want to do it? He probably wants to do it. They probably, I don't know. Terry, he probably wants to. But yes, Valerie Perrine. From the things I've seen in her tweet, very nice lady.
That hits a lot of people. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah.
Yes, Tiger Stripe. She was in Slaughterhouse 5. I remember her from Lenny, that Lenny Bruce movie with Dustin Hoffman. Did you ever see that movie? That's a good one.
With
movie
Dustin
about
Hoffman?
Lenny Bruce. Yeah, Donnie.
Called
Lenny.
Lenny. I don't think I've seen that, but
one of the
all-time great comedians.
Trailblazer.
Yeah, free speech and government. Talk about government intrusion and getting to speak your mind.
Yeah. Yep. And of course, from Superman, she was wonderful. I
love it when he says that. Yeah. Hackman was just so brilliant.
Kal-El.
What a great actor.
Oh yeah. That Hackman's great and everything.
He was so good and Unforgiven. I mean, Clint Eastwood gets a lot of credit.
C3K joke. But yeah, he wasn't. He was. Didn't he win the Oscar for that?
I might have. Yeah.
I think he might have won the Oscar for that. The Duck of Death.
But he's just a great character, great acting in that movie. Yeah.
Tiger Stripe says, haven't seen Lenny. I really have to see it to someday very soon. Have you seen The Marvelous Miss Maisel? Lenny figures in that show, and the actor is great. Lenny figures in that show, like Lenny Bruce.
Oh yeah, Lenny Bruce. So I love that show.
I've not seen it.
Oh, it's a great show. Great comedy, great cast, and actually someone I know is actually the in charge of wardrobe on that show. So it's one of those shows that you can watch with the missus. And of course they have all these gorgeous, 60s outfits. So like my mom is like, Mom, you got to watch it. And, just not that I'm a clothes guy, but you can, just the costumes and the designs, and really does a job of bringing you back to the 60s. So Lenny Bruce is on, and she's, the short story is not giving anything really away, that she's getting, cheated on by her husband, and she breaks up with the husband. And the husband's trying to break into stand-up, and she gets trashed one night and just goes on a rant about her husband at the comedy club, and everyone's going crazy, and she exposes herself. She gets arrested, and it goes on from there. And I think Lenny Bruce is in one of the first few episodes. I can't remember if Lenny Bruce I think that first episode Lenny Bruce is a character and helped to bail her out, so they develop a relationship. And I think people, it was such a good reception to those, Lenny Bruce on the show, that they kept writing him into episodes. It was I think it was just planned to have him on.
She's fictional though, right?
Yeah, she's fictional. Okay. And of course, a lot of the stuff about Lenny Bruce is fictional, but it's a lot of the stuff.
Do they curse as much as? Can they curse on that show?
Oh yeah.
Curse like
okay. Oh yeah, like an MFer. So yeah, there's a lot of free speech. He's getting arrested. He bails.
God, yeah.
she bails him out. But the jokes are fantastic on the show, and it's a great cast. And yeah, no spoilers, but that's that's the basic. That's the basic set. That's not it's watching the trailers. She becomes a stand-up comedian, so that's not. But it's just so maybe a mild spoiler. But hopefully by the time you see it, you'll forget that I said that. But it's just a show really worth if you like comedy, and it's a great '60s period piece, and there's a lot of great jokes, and her stand-up is just so hysterical, and it's like a slice of life back. I think it's ending this season. I think this is going to be the last season coming out, which is but yeah, it's not a typical show that we'd talk about here, but yeah, it's
I've heard about it, yeah. So, and Tony Shalhoub on that show.
Shalhoub's on it, yeah. So he's fantastic on it. He's like her father. He's this neurotic math professor, and Kevin Pollak is on it as their father-in-law. So yeah, really good, really good cast. Yeah.
We'll see what Masters Maniac Mexico says. Hang on a second, dude. He says MMM loves you always. Will last try failed today, so I guess I'm out. Just understood, Mr. Clobby. Just understand, Mr. Clobby, Mark, and all of DS9 crew. You made many difficult moments so much easier. Farewell, brothers. Thanks. You. What's this goodbye? What I hope. MMM, don't make it goodbye, my friend.
Yeah, what's happening?
Whatever's going on, dude, always stay with us if you can. I mean, I don't know the context of what you're saying. Does that mean you're not going to be online anymore or whatever? But I hope you will. I hope that that's not true. I hope that changes. And I mean, thank you for being here. We love seeing you pop in. And big love to you from the Clobberin Time gang. And I hope whatever it is, you get solved. And I hope it's things. Look, all I can tell you is this, and I'm very old, probably a lot older than you. Endings suck. Everyone, I hate endings. I hate things ending. We all do. And a lot of times things seem like the end when there's just a new beginning there. I know that sounds trite. I don't mean it to sound that way. But things are rarely over when we think they are. We think they are sometimes. They feel over, and then they're not. And that's the way life is going to be like that. It just is. And so whatever's going on, I have no idea what's going on in your life, my friend. Hang in there. Never give up, never surrender. And just whenever you can, come back over here and say hello to us whenever you can. Stay with us. Don't forget about us. I know if there's anything, reach out to anyone you can here. If you need any, just anyone any kind of support or some talking or whatever, please. I have an email address below me. In the description below me, and I don't know if you're on Twitter or not, but I think you are. You can DM me just if you need to tell me what's. Of course, it's none of my business. I'm not prying into your business, but we hope that you hang on, whatever it is. That sounds very final what you're saying there, and of course that's going to be very concerning for us. Don't worry about us though. Take care of yourself, and don't let anything end that you don't want to end. So, good luck to you, sir.
Yeah, hope everything's okay. That was well said, Mike.
If that's yeah, I mean, he says the Great Sea, the Great Sea, they'll move me to the hospice unforgotten. You were great with me always. Hey, man, I'm so sorry about that, but keep fighting it, sir. Please stay in contact with us for as long as you can. You can send me. You could send me DMs on if Twitter. I don't know if you do that, but either way. And anyone here who prays or anything, please send out your good prayers and vibes. Put MMM in the chat for our good buddy MMM, who's been a good friend of the show, and we appreciate very much. My friend, this goes out to you from Clobberin Times, man. I wish there was more that I could do, but if you can maintain contact from wherever you're going, sir, please do. Love and hugs out to you, man, for whatever you're going through there. The Great Sea, as you call it. And I mean, just that's a horrible thing, and it takes so much. Just hang in there, partner, and we're right there with you. I mean, I know it doesn't sound like much, and it doesn't mean like much considering we don't know the whole story or any of our situation. But hey, thank you for the kind words, and thank you for always being a good friend of the show when you come in and hang out with us. And I hope we see you many more times, buddy.
God bless you, yeah, and all the
God bless
best.
you.
And yeah, it's really tough to hear that kind of news. So
It is.
it's yeah, the Great Sea sucks. So it's touched too many people, that we all know and have loved. So prayers for you, and yeah, it's always been great hanging out with you. And as Mike says, if you can any way to keep in touch, let
Right.
us know.
Please
ever
keep in
thinking of
touch.
you.
Yep. See.
Yeah.
I came to thank you. Thank you, my friend. And Clobberin Times will always be here for you. And you're welcome to come over and talk to us anytime. And please just holler back at us, friend. Max Masters, Maniac Mexico. I know even though it says Mexico, I think he's from a different part of the world than Mexico. Ezra Goldstein, shalom. Good to see you.
Hail the Cardinal Sin.
We gave some memberships.
He gave, yep. As I was happy, I know that wasn't the as
no
MMM was, yeah. So, but he
thank
did.
You
thank you, Cardinal. Yep. So $10 super chat
for the $10 super sticker and the memberships. Thank you, Cardi.
So
Appreciate
20 memberships. Yep. Thank you for that.
Chris Berger says, "I'm so sorry, Masters Maniac Mexico. Don't give up. Remain positive. Think positive thoughts, and laugh as much as you can. I met a woman who was stage 4, and she managed to beat it. Never give up." Thank you, Chris. Thank you for that, Chris. I came back to thank you all. Well, I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that as tough as this is to know, I'm glad that you were able to come and say that to us. And just keep on fighting, buddy. We appreciate you. You hear stuff like that, everybody, and
you don't know what to say. Yeah.
You don't know what to say other than it puts life in perspective for you. We like tonight was just a wild card Wednesday night. I didn't have any topics, so I just winged it like I always do, and I had a really good time. Just talking going all over the place and just talking with our friends here because you're all really cool to talk to. Yes, absolutely. Maniac Mexico, you could email me anytime at that. Chris Persia put that in the chat there, and it's in my description below as well. I think he's on Twitter. I have to check.
And you do have a YouTube channel too as well. I don't know if
does he have Maniac Mexico has a YouTube channel?
Yep, let me post the link. Yep.
Let's see. Let's see. I have to if you could post a link to that.
There we go. Yep.
I thought I'd probably subscribe to him, but I don't know if we have that link or not. I mean, I don't know. But I'll check the link and I'll try to see if I'm subscribed. And I'll try to reach out to him on the Twits if he's got the Twitster. Okay, I see. There we go. Does he have videos up or anything?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, yeah. I'm subscribing now.
Lots of good, cool toy stuff.
Oh, a lot of cool stuff now. I have to speak. Let's see. 5 months ago. Okay. Well, very cool. He has a page. Please subscribe, everybody. We've got the link in there now. And so there you go. Chris Longfellow. Hey there. Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you. Well, everybody, I tell you what, we've been on here for over a couple hours now, unless Mark has anything. We're gonna start wrapping it up. Get ready for tomorrow night.
Yeah, I did get it's kind of just upset over what MMM just said, but I did get a.
We appreciate you doing that, though, Lemon.
Yeah. No, I'm just. Well, I did get a new action figure today, but it seems kind of not even worth not the time to
tomorrow night if you want.
Tomorrow, no. I'm just thinking about MMM.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we're gonna leave. We're gonna leave with respect. We're not even gonna really talk any more topics tonight.
No,
but everyone who prays or whatever you do, whether you pray, whether you don't, whether you just put your good vibes, whatever, the good feelings out to our good friend let's see, sorry, everyone, to our good friend Masters Maniac Mexico, MMM. We won't stop thinking about you, buddy, and we're gonna just hope to hear from you again sometime. I mean, like I said, I know you made it sound like you're saying goodbye, and if that is goodbye, we sure, as horrible as that is, we're honored that you did feel the need to say goodbye to us. That you are a good friend, and we appreciate you. If that was it, we hope it isn't. We hope there'll be many more times that you stop in this. Yeah, we hope it'll be many more times that you stop in to see us. But either way, we will, we'll be thinking about you and pulling for you. So, everybody, thank you all for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate it. It's been a crazy start to 2023. A rough start.
Yep. Yeah, I saw someone post 2023 is off to a bad start. Bleep that can we get a do-over? Yep.
Yeah, we need it. Need to start over, that's for sure. So I won't really I tell you what, I'm not gonna really run any kind of show notes other than we'll be here tomorrow night. We'll talk about stuff with Raquel, of course. And I'll have Saturday Night Star Trek, and I'll be on Midnight's Edge After Dark before tomorrow night's Clubhouse, and then I'll be on with our great buddy Dad Man, 6 p.m. Central on Friday, and then my great buddy Nick's comic shop show, 8:30 a.m. Central Friday, and then of course Saturday Night Star Trek will be back to business on 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you all for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate you. We'll just go out with a moment of silence. We're not gonna run anything other than that, and just out of respect for our good friend MMM. Thank you, Tiber Stripes. Appreciate you. Appreciate everyone for being here tonight. Everyone, please pray for and remember in your thoughts, Masters Maniac Mexico. Whatever happens, my friend, fight it, and fight it. That's all I can say. And Clobberin Times is right there with you, sir. So,
God bless you. Yep, yeah.
Absolutely. I'm going a couple of seconds of silence here, then we will just we will sign out. But I do thank you all for being here with us tonight. Thank you.